Troll Nation, welcome back to Telesplash Gaming, and today I'm bringing another local game store to my playlist. This is gameplay in Clarkston, Washington. So stick around and let's take a look at what he's got. Now, I frequent Clarkston quite a bit because of work, and so I've been to this game store quite a few times, and they are actually established back in 2010. Now, if you don't know about this place called Game Crazy was a store kind of like GameStop back in the day. I'm not sure if it was a national chain or just kind of a Pacific Northwest or West Coast chain, but he actually worked at Game Crazy originally, and Game Crazy, when it went under, he wanted to keep the local gaming alive, so he opened up Gameplay. So he's been around about 8 years now, and business has been pretty good. Started off just strictly gaming, but has expanded a little bit, as you will see here. And kind of starting off when you walk in, you saw the claw machine, quarter machine, just kind of some fun little stuff to kind of open up the store when you walk in the front door. And then of course we get right to the main systems here with the PlayStation 4, and then sticking with Sony, right next to the PlayStation 4 is the PlayStation 3 collection, and these are all used games. He does offer new and used games. You'll see the new games are behind the counter coming up here. But PlayStation 3 had quite a few games, and he's still getting quite a few trade-ins, so he has a couple different blocks on his wall set up for the used Xbox 360 as well as the PlayStation 3 games. Here you see his Xbox 360 wall, and then just above it here in a second you're going to see some really cool kind of decor. He has a lot of boxes from systems, from games, from accessories, and I thought this was really cool. I'd like to get my hands on a few of these myself at some point, but he has like the original NES, he has an NES kind of headset blaster that you see there, which is kind of funny, kind of an odd NES accessory, as well as the PlayStation, Xbox, all the boxes, so just a great way to decorate the store with things that he already currently has. And then just kind of finishing off here, you see the Xbox 360 games, and then at the far wall he has the Xbox One. Now when you walk in and go to the right, you'll actually see a large kind of collection of cards. Magic, the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons. There may be some more. I don't have enough time to play the games I want to play, so starting up a new hobby in cards is just not in my favor. But I know it's hugely popular, and he said that it's actually become a really big part of his business, so he does bring in a lot of cards and host tournaments and things like that. So he does have a pretty good selection of die and cards and kind of some fun board games down there, as you can see. But for me, I've just never had a chance to get into it, but I do know it's incredibly popular. As you can see, large boxes of cards in the background, and then new packs. And then kind of scrolling down, you can see where the cards kind of meet up with the gaming accessories in the middle. You see some controllers and things like that. So it's a really nice seamless transition from the cards. And then the next case, this is my personal favorite case. This one has some Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy Color, the original Game Boy. And then down below, it's always one of the first things I go to is kind of a few of the more rare games. Not necessarily incredibly rare, but if something rare did come in, this is where it would be. So you can see like Gauntlet Legends down there for the PS2. Just a few of the games that are a little bit more expensive, a little bit harder to come by. The old classic Double Dragon. So like I said, not all of them are incredibly expensive and incredibly rare, but this is the case where he keeps kind of the more expensive and or rare games, and for all of his systems. So I always go straight to that one to kind of see what he's brought in the last couple weeks before I move on to the rest of the store. And then in the middle here, he has some more, end caps. You see the infamous Power Glove. That's actually not for sale. I already asked him about that. But the Power Glove is not for sale. It's for decoration only. And then he has a few of the Wii U titles. That poor Wii U, it's a great system, never quite got the respect it deserved, but the Switch seems to have taken over for it flawlessly, so there is that. And then in the middle he also has the PlayStation 2 games and the Xbox, as well as the GameCube, the Wii, and even some old school stuff. So I always go to this one because I'm trying to collect more for the PS2 and the Xbox myself, so I always come in here, take a look at the PS2 collection, work my way around that, and move on to the Xbox. So large selection of PS2 and Xbox games. He's still actively taking trades on them. He gives store credit, doesn't necessarily pay cash anymore, just because those aren't quite as popular as they used to be. And then you can see the original Sega, some Saturn games. This is kind of a small Sega wall, as it's not quite as popular as the Nintendo stuff and the PlayStation from the years before. And then his small GameCube selection, as well as his stacks of N64, Super Nintendo, and some original Nintendo games. So a little bit of everything here. If you're looking for something, you never know what you're going to find on the shelf, which always makes it fun. And then behind the kind of cash wrap here is the gaming accessories, as well as the systems that are for sale. So everything from the PS4 down to the original Nintendo, if it's available. There's some Retron 3s down there, Super Nintendo, Wii, a little bit of everything. And then his new games are also smartly behind the cash register. And there he is there for a second doing some work. But yeah, so he has the cash wrap right here, has the necessary snacks, and up here I actually picked up some candy. It's been a little while since I had these, and I was laughing to actually see them in store. Zaps or Zops, forget the name of them. Anyway, so there's that, and then moving on to the far wall, you'll actually see DVD rental and Blu-ray. And that was just something he said that there was a need for, so he does movie rental on that far wall, which is kind of cool. So if you still want to rent a movie or get something, he does have the movies, you know, on that back wall with some of the newer releases. And then right here you'll see the older kind of gaming accessories. And when I say older, I mean like PS2, Xbox, as well as like the GameCube, Wii. So not too old, but just some of the stuff that people are still looking for, like multi-tap adapters, controllers, little keyboards for the Xbox 360. So this is kind of a fun wall to go see what people have brought in as well. And then kind of finishing off the gaming accessories, you can see here he has some different connections for the systems, so you can bring your kind of older systems to the modern televisions with some different AV connections, and then as well as if you lose like a power cord, it's got some kind of backup power cords and things like that as well. Now, this is really cool. He has a multicade there where a couple guys are playing. I'm not sure what game they're playing, but they're playing the multicade. And then he has the pinballs and a few different arcades here. So it's not only a place to go rent movies, play games, and buy them, but you can also go and check out some old arcade classics. So that's pretty cool, has those. And then on the left here, you'll actually see all the tables set up for the card games. So when he has the card tournaments and the big get-togethers, this is kind of that back room where everybody can come in, set up, and start dueling and playing their card games and hopefully, you know, make it through the tournament. This last little bit here is just another angle on the arcades, kind of coming from the other side. So you got Cruising the World, Hydro Thunder, you know, Off-Road Challenge. And so yeah, if you're in the area, Clarkston, Washington, pop into Gameplay, take a look at it. Really cool guy, cool store, fun arcades, great game selection, so take a look.